Well, I agree with you that we are like, government is getting insensitive towards environment. But what I feel is, at the other end, judiciary is getting more sensitive towards the environment.
True.
So do we see a ray of
True.
hope there?
The only hope. I mean, I hate to say this because the judiciary can also be extremely dictatorial at times, but the National Green Tribunal has been coming up with some fantastic judgments. People know about the National Green Tribunal. It's a green court. You can actually take your cases there, and so, I mean, I think India, we keep saying India's bad, India's this, India's that, but a fantastic progressive move was to set up the National Green Tribunal. The Supreme Court has a green bench which hears cases every Friday in the Supreme Court related to green issues.
The Vedanta,
The Vedanta case,
correct,
or Godavarman. So these are all examples. There is some good stuff happening. So yes, I think there is some hope from the judiciary. But there is right now a move on as we speak to get rid of the National Green Tribunal.
Yes, yeah, that's what.
So the one institution which has been doing good work. Because I know this because the committee which is looking at the laws, they were in Delhi recently, and these are the murmurs we are hearing, that there is a movement on to quash them as well.
Recently, I think the Supreme Court also stopped several coal mining.
Yes, but that was not an environment case.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That was the
yes.
coal, the coal scam. Yeah.
Coal scam, yeah, okay, sorry, that's my mistake, yeah. Any more questions? Yes, last one, I think, yeah.
I remember the Supreme Court had made it mandatory, and a lot of teachers complained that there wasn't enough time and it was very difficult to implement, but ultimately they were implementing it. But then later on, I think the Supreme Court said, no, it's not compulsory anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know the status of this?
To be honest, I don't. Yeah, I have the same information that you do, that it was made compulsory, and then now they found that there was a lot of problem implementing it, so now it's no longer compulsory. So
But I think it has to be compulsory.
yes, I think the way we were doing environment education also, that was a problem. It was extremely didactic. It was not experiential. And in fact, this was one of the questions Kavita was supposed to ask me, was what am I planning to do next? And that's one of the things which I'm interested in, is that, looking at how we can make nature as an experience for children or adults, and having maybe a physical space, not just a national park or a sanctuary, but somewhere where kids can go and get closer to nature. And for me, that's something which I would love to be involved in. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Okay.
I
Thank
think
you.
we're
I
up to
just
our
want to thank
time.
Kavita.
Okay, thank you very much, Bahar. Thank you, all of you for being here. Okay. Are you going to be signing your books outside? I think Bahar will be signing her books outside. I think her book should be available in the bookshop. Yeah.
Yes, it is at the pop-up store right here at
Okay,
Landmark.
great.
It is.
So it is available. Okay.
Thank you so much to the panel. Thank you very much. I'd just like to inform you that, a few weeks ago, the sponsors of this particular session, Tata Steel, they had put up a digital platform and invited people to ask questions. And the 3 winning entries were by Anindya Rai, Shobhana Kumar, and Aarti Shah. In fact, these questions have been covered and they have been answered. They've been answered thanks to all your questions as well. So it's been a great session. Thank you very much to this very great audience also as well. So, yeah. I'd just like to also inform you that tomorrow the festival goes to Prithvi Theatre as well. And there are morning sessions at Prithvi Theatre starting from 11 a.m. And right here coming up at 5 o'clock at the Little Theatre are play readings by Martin Moran, Nicholas Billen, and Purva Naresh. So see you then.